In those rare situations when Amazon is not breaching the Geneva Convention in mistreating and abusing their employees, they also make games, believe it or not, and their magnus opus, their greatest achievement, is somehow sadly New World. Yeah, that speaks a lot for itself, doesn't it, honestly? But in any case, they made New World, New World died, and Amazon Games then shut down in a couple of years. And they put out an article that literally said, "We Amazon Games tried to fight Steam." And everyone who read that was like, You tried to fight Steam? What do you have one game, and then you look at it, Amazon Games actually has like 30 game titles. It's pretty insane, actually. And yeah, they tried to fight Steam, and no one cared. No one even knew that they were fighting Steam. Okay, and New World. Well, New World is back in 2025. In a world where old school RuneScape is literally destroying and killing World of Warcraft because pixel art is just a better MMORPG some magically, how? Why not give New World a shot, honestly, at this point? I mean, it can literally not be worse than Cat God in a wheelchair at this point, okay? Or a half black, half elf, double crippled, paraplegic, strong independent woman that's gonna teach men how to be men, okay? That almost everything is gonna be better than that. And by the way, low-key prediction, boys, clip this. You know I'm gonna be right. I'm right about almost everything I predict here. Because I have a very, very specific foresight in things. Old school RuneScape is gonna be lit. And then people are gonna move to RuneScape 3, okay? Listen, you can be a dopad and hate on me for this. Or you can be a person who sees into the future and knows that I'm right. Time always proves me right. RuneScape 3 is gonna have its day, boys.
I woke up this morning and I thought to myself, how can I really piss off the internet? And I figured deep down, do you know what? Nothing gets people's blood boiling more than the idea of New World actually being a pretty good MMO. I'm gonna say it, dude.
True, based, real, and factual.
Honestly, New World is not a bad MMO. Now, before you all jump in the comments section with your pitchforks, because I know you're itching, you're waiting. He's saying New World is a good MMO. We must cull him. We must cull him immediately. I have my reasons, and don't worry.
Dr. Robotnik has to go, boys. Dr. Eggman has done too much evil in this world.
This video will also put forward some of the negatives that are surrounding the game too. I have no intentions of making myself fully the most hated man on the internet. We don't need another pirate software. Do you see my mana? I worked a
Dude, the pirate software comments are currently, by the way, completely spread all over the internet. My Magic the Gathering channel's videos are getting currently pirate software meme comments, and most people don't even know I'm a pirate software historian there.
Blizzard for 7 years. My dad is like the CEO of Blizzard. Anyway, New World, let's talk about it because I've been playing a metric fuck ton of New World. As someone who didn't really play the game that much from launch, I dipped in, saw it really wasn't my
God, this is the worst fishing minigame ever.
My sort of thing, saw that it was going in a weird direction and just kind of got out of there. At the time that I started playing the game, everything was at its basic kind of format. There was no real fleshed out questing, voice acting was at a minimum, if any. It was much more of a PvP focus.
I have got to max level in New World. If there's a main story, I have no idea where to find it.
Focused game, you essentially fight for resources with your faction, use those resources against the other faction, and rinse and repeat. And well, I'm happy to say that if you're a PvE fiend, the game has come a long, long way. So I guess with that in mind, this is why...
Bro, New World literally has 3 active skills, then 3 more active skills that make 6 fingers. This is 6 fingers. AI, initialize 6th finger. Whoop. Anyway. And those 6 abilities have such a long cooldown that you literally get to AFK, okay? New World is trash, garbage, dumpster fire tier. There is nothing that ever will convince me that it looks good, okay? This still looks good, I'm not gonna lie. New World is a good looking game, but so is your stepmom. That doesn't mean a lot, okay? But when you look inside, she's pretty rancid. Still would buy her a taco supreme meal, but still pretty rancid at the end of the day. And the combat is New World's combat is special, okay? When you one-shot things, you feel good, okay? You feel good about yourself. The moment it takes more than 2 skills to kill an enemy, you're instantaneously starting to instinctively go for the rope and tree branch approach with your neck. Okay? That's how bad the game is.
I want to title this video why you should consider coming back to New World in 2025 or something equally as clickbaity. All jokes aside though, if you did pick the game up from launch and you were really underwhelmed, to be honest,
I will do the biggest clickbait title you have ever seen in your life, boys. Comment down below if I did a good job, or what should be the actual big name, click name title of the video.
Whether it be the poor state of the game, the memes that were inserted into the game, whether it be the unbalancing of PvP, lack of PvE content, then I'm happy to say quite a lot of that has been a lot more fleshed out than what it was beforehand. If I'm being completely real with you guys, whilst I was playing the game, I was constantly looking for reasons to
I have been here, by the way.
hate this game. I think I've just absorbed so much Twitter, so much Reddit, that I was just looking for a reason to be angry at New World and a reason where I wouldn't be enjoying myself in the world of Eternum. The reality is though that the moment-to-moment gameplay that I experienced is quite stellar now, to be honest with you. There are a lot of elements of this game that you can quite easily get yourself lost in, and I think the forebearer for that, the real front man for that experience, has to be the world. I don't know what is in the source with New World, but the world itself is absolutely second to none. The visuals of the world alone in New World almost rival that of a Korean MMO, and I think, to be honest with you, they've even been toned down a little bit with the launch of the console versions of the game, which, by the way, I have to say, seeing so many console players running around the world, really fleshing out the social experience, is really, really nice. I am a
yeah, they actually put the thing together. Is he gonna show the Steam DB chart? Because I have not looked at it. Okay, boys, let's look at the Steam DB chart. New World Steam DB, or is it now New World? Oh yeah, it's Eternum. Oh, what a name! What a name! Anyway, let me switch the scene so you can see it, boys. Here, there's New World Eternum. It's almost 70% positive upvote thing. Can you imagine this game started off with nearly 1 million players instantaneously? Dude, this was the Lost Ark New World era, okay? Lost Ark started with like 1.2 million peak players? That was insane. Admittedly, I do think it was day one bots also. But still, look at this. Imagine that and the downfall. Oh my lord, the downfall. The free week and literally no one cares. It kind of lasted, honestly, a pretty long time considering everything. And it has had updates, which I have talked about because they are hilariously fucking bad money grabs. But yeah, I mean, look at this game. It's quite insane. 6 months ago it had... This is almost good numbers, okay? New World is technically not doing that humongously bad. It's still doing pretty poorly, don't get me wrong. But it could have been a lot worse. If this number was like 1K or 2K, I would go Starfield on this game's ass. But now this is actually like almost Elder Scrolls Online levels of decent. And, you know, Elder Scrolls Online is not a good game, but, I mean, all of these games are somehow just going through the mud. I honestly think that we are currently at that point where there are so many slop MMOs that there is literally a slop MMO that hits everyone's slop needs. You know? On average, if a game is bad, 90% of people are not gonna like it, but like, roughly 5 to 10 people are gonna be, holy shit, this is exactly the type of shit I wanna play. And Now we have an MMO for every style of shit player, okay? And New World is one of them.
Believer that in an MMO, player count and player masses absolutely matter, even if they just serve to top up your immersion. Having players, boots on the ground, bodies on the field, running around really builds the experience. I feel like for a game that really struggles with its art style, because New World is kind of somewhere between like Guild Wars and like a more realistic kind of title. It's a bit of a weird art
Art style, I wouldn't say it struggles with the art style. I would say the art style is the best part of this game by far.
style, but for a game that kind of lacks direction in art style, the visuals really hold up. Like some of the areas that you venture into in this game are so visually stunning and they really do leave a mark. Like, for example, the first time that I ever went to Brightwood and I saw the really kind of gloomy, green, radiating like essence of death. You essentially walk through this decrepit village and you learn about the backstory of Brightwood and what happened and what
There's a backstory?
happened to the citizens. And
Bro, where are people finding lore for this game?
it's just really interesting. From the harrowing sights of Brightwood all the way to the lush druidic forests of Eden Grove, there is always
Okay, shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna lie, boys. Brightwood looks like literally every other place. New World, keep it. Nothing has changed about New World, by the way. There's still roughly 6 type of enemies and 2 types of biomes. It's not that improved. This is a cope.
something to look at in New World. And I feel like this is where the team really comes into their own because the world building is absolutely undeniable. What's also kind of crazy is that in many games, the world isn't even really that interactive. Yeah, you can kill a few mobs here and there, you'll have a few resources to mine as and where you go, but quite literally in New World, everything you see, you can pretty much interact with. Every enemy or animal that you kill, for example, you can either loot or skin, you can mine for materials and resources, you're constantly
Well, that's Wait, is this video going to be a lot of cope? Because this is what exactly what World of Warcraft allows you. This is exactly what Guild Wars allows you. This is every game allows this, except like skinning being a free thing.
keeping your eye out for different herbs and different materials, minerals that you can pick up just to aid you in your experience. And because there are so many things to do out in the open world, you're more likely to see people and you're more likely to see people mining resources or felling trees, and you hear them. Honestly, you hear them before you even see them, because the sound of someone mining a rock can be heard across a canyon from miles and miles away.
I know this location.
You can hear the
Yeah, there's 3 big nodes and like 3 or 4 smaller nodes, and I know this location. And listen, mining is the best relaxation thing I have ever done in any game, okay? I love mining in New World.
cracks of trees as they're falling as people have cut them down. It is a really immersive experience. One thing that really surprised me, which I didn't really think I would like that much, is the combat. The combat for me was a little bit of a kind of learning curve to just get used to. I wasn't used to this kind of real-time combat, and it did feel a little bit janky initially, but once you find your flow, once you find the weapon, you get used to dodging or sort of sidestepping and just the general mechanics
Does this seem fun to you, by the way?
of the game. I would argue that the combat in New World is pretty up there in terms of genre combat. It's not quite as fluid as BDO, of course.
If you miss a single shot, you're instantaneously thinking about Minecrafting.
Of course, it's not going to be, but it does a pretty damn good job of feeling impactful every time you press a button, every time you hit an enemy. For example, when my character heavy charges the fire staff and you can hear the fireball like furling up and then launching, and then when it impacts, it's like boom, you get this massive impact on the enemy. Every large fire rain, like fire meteor, fire shower ability feels really sick to just listen to the patters of the fireballs like hit the ground.
Does it though?
Great swords and hammers feel really weighty to swing with every intention, every force of a swing. There's an impact, and you just feel like a god when you're in combat. This design is exactly how
Except the rapier.
MMOs should be. I mean, for a main component of the
Which is sad because the rapier is the best weapon in the world.
game being combat, it needs to feel impactful. It needs to make you want to do that. And that's one of the reasons why BDO, for its many faults, is so successful, because as much as the actual gameplay is fairly mundane, what keeps people coming back is the pure crack addiction of the combat. This, of course, I firmly believe is the case in New World. Moving on from combat, I used to play New World when moving about the map was an absolute ball ache. It used to take an age to get from A to B. Fast traveling used to cost quite a lot, and it was nigh on impossible to even see reason as to why you should fast travel. There were no mounts, and of course, well, now, as much as it is a bit controversial with paid expansions, but there are now mounts in the game, and fast traveling costs way less than it used to, and it is a lot more accessible. But what is absolutely crazy to me is I spend 99.9% of my time just on foot. I don't really get on my mount that much. When you venture off the beaten path on your mount anyway, it typically slows down depending on what specs and perks you've got for the mount itself. So I find mostly it's more fun to just go about.
When they added the mount, it was a laggy mess. It rubber banded and didn't work properly. I bet that year after they at least have fixed these issues, I hope.
On foot anyway. That way I can continue to gather more resources. Most of my gathering tools have got haste, which gives me a little speed boost every time I do something. So it's just a nicer way to explore. Speaking of exploring, there are so many things to do in the map, from side quests, from mount trials, to cleansing corrupted monoliths, faction quests, main stories, hunting down collectibles, territory wars.
The faction quests are horrible. PvP is a fucking joke. I know this place. This video is super cope.
Not to mention all the side activities like fishing, for example. There just seems to be something to do in New World all the time. Something to
Fishing sucks mega dick.
Pass your time. And that is before you even delve into some of the instance content, which I must
have not been here, though.
say, and I want this on paper right now, is absolutely...
New World was... Okay, let me give you the New World sales pitch, okay? You're gonna have fun mining, skinning, wood cutting, and doing nothing else until level 60. Just randomly going places because you're just gonna magically find shit to do, okay? And the moment you reach level 60, you're gonna delete the game. That's the New World experience. It's pretty fun just mining and cutting wood and everything else, but it's pretty shit to do anything else, though.
Incredible. Now, of course, much like any MMO, the more you run it, the more stale it gets, but that doesn't really differ here in New World or across the board. When I first played the game, there weren't even that many expeditions or many endgame activities to do, whereas now there's quite a plethora of activities to do. Many of the expeditions that are in the game have mutated forms now, which offer more challenging trials for more rewards, and you can also scale these up with your...
Did they fix the fact that mutations... So, listen, you know what mutation is? What he said was bullshit. That's not what mutations are. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what mutations are. They wanted to fix this because they did not like the fact that a player needed like 15 different gear sets to actually play the game semi-competently at the end game if they wanted to. I don't know if they have fixed it, but they said that they're gonna fix it. Mutations previously were like this. Oh, you're gonna go into a dungeon? Well, that dungeon now has fire damage on it, and if you want to clear it, you need fire resistance gear. If you don't have it, well, tough luck, loser. You're not gonna clear it, because the damage is gonna be too big. Okay? There's not enough of a skill ceiling to overcome that shit. So, you needed to have a fire resistance set. But guess what? Next week, new mutation, Buckaroo. Oh yes, get ready. This time it's the sclerosis mutation. That's right, boys. Get your sclerosis fucking creams and shit ready, because now you need that set. If you don't have it, guess what? You're fucked. You can't finish it once again. And you needed like 15 different sets to play the game properly. What a great... and by the way, when I say set, I don't mean like 3 items. I literally mean like 15 plus items. Sounds fun, right? That's why no one played the end game.
Gear score, so the stronger you get, you can then take on higher challenges for higher rewards. Essentially, this is all pivoting you to gear up for the true end game, which is either PvP or raids. Now, despite, in my opinion, the PvP still being a little bit unbalanced, it is so fun. Taking part in
PvP
the
is
20 versus
complete
20 outpost
garbage.
rush or the 3 versus 3 arena is always really good fun. The outpost rush game mode, to be honest, has involved me in some of the craziest combat ever. You're in certain buildings, you've got enemies coming from all different angles whilst you're trying to capture objectives and hold points of contention with your allies, with your faction. I'm raining fireballs down, there's muskets going off, it is just chaos. The FPS is through the floor, but do you know what? Above all else, regardless of how many times I got my ass handed to me, it was just really fun to play. Going into the level 65 mutated expeditions feels really interesting, and it's a really great way to refresh some of the older content.
Okay, so New World is still a bad game. The cope was real. I'm not gonna lie. The cope was definitely absolutely 100% real here. Anyway, that was deployable lover. I almost said over deployable over. Close enough. Anyway, thanks for watching. 10 out of 10. Great video. The New World cope never stops. There's always someone saying that New World is a good game. It's not. New World is gonna find a way to die 5 times before it actually becomes a good game. Okay? It's not happening.